Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Light Within the Unknown podcast. I'm Brandon,
Hi, I'm Linda.
and on this episode, we're going to be talking about our experience from the Peach Field Plantation. So, on this episode, we're going to be talking about our paranormal experiences that we had during our investigation, and kind of our own little experiences that we've seen on the investigation, as well as some of the paranormal activity that we've seen and have experienced in the area and on the outside of the area. So Linda, Peach Field Plantation. What did you think of the place?
Crazy active.
It was.
Never a dull moment. Literally.
Oh.
We might not have had a lot of responses, but we had equipment going off. But we did have some weird responses. I started going over some of the audio and whatnot. But yeah, some of the stuff is weird.
What kind of stuff are you getting over there?
We were in the front room and you were doing the EVP session.
Okay.
And then you were playing back to see if we heard anything over the EVP session.
Mm-hmm.
And during that whole time, I had my recorder running. And your recorder on the playback from the EVP session did not pick anything up that we heard.
Right.
But my recorder picked up something. I have no idea what it is.
What?
Yes.
Huh. So then I'm curious if my camera picked it up, because my camera was in the opposite part of the room compared to the audio recorder.
Okay.
Because the audio recorder was right next to where we were sitting, to where me and Alexis were sitting. The camera was on the opposite side of the room. Maybe your audio recorder was closer to where the camera was,
Maybe. But I did send it in a clip on Facebook Messenger to everyone. I can't necessarily make it out what it's saying. I don't think I tried to do anything with it right now.
Okay.
But it's definitely something there. But it's not coming through your recorder from the playback. So I don't know.
That's really weird.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out then.
And then also, we were in the basement and you did another EVP session.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on the playback. And I forget what we asked, but the answer was yes.
Man, I'm going to get a new audio recorder.
And then, but we were all listening to the playback and nothing was coming through.
Right. So now was this... Okay. So then was this like during when we were asking the questions?
Yeah.
Or was this after or was this when we were going over the questions and it was picking it up?
Well, obviously we didn't hear anything when we did the initial, when you started the EVP session, we were asking questions, we waited.
Right.
And then another question would be asked.
Right.
During playback, it was, we asked a question, we were listening to see if we got a response. We didn't hear anything, but on my recorder, there was a yes.
Okay. So then it might have been, as we were doing the playback, it was hearing the questions again.
Maybe. Because then again, we were in the basement. We were listening to the EVP playback. We asked a question. It wasn't an answer, but the word worried came through. It wasn't a response to the question that was asked, but it came through as worried. Now, obviously, during EVP session, we didn't have a spirit box. Right. We didn't have a phasma box. We didn't have any other things going off talking. So, especially the first one when we were upstairs, I have no idea what was trying to come through.
Yeah, that's That's really weird. Yeah, that's a little strange. That I mean, again, it's awesome that that something was caught because it
Right.
goes to show that. But it's just a little strange that nothing else picked it up, though.
No. And my
That's why my
my
question. I'm
recorder
like,
was running the whole time. And then during the playback, we were all huddled around your recorder.
yeah, yeah, yes, you
So
are.
you can
On
hear
hold.
the initial, like I could hear the initial, question. And then you can tell when it was playback because it says, Brandon, let's play it back.
Right. Yep.
So, and at those times, we were all huddled around the playback recorder. So I don't know, but the one from the front room is really bizarre. Really
Yeah. That,
bizarre.
yeah. That is.
Because
Well,
obviously none of us picked it up because none of us said anything during
no.
that. Like, hey,
No.
what was that? Even.
Right. Which is weird because I think that's the one we played back. I think 2 or 3 times. I think, if I'm
I
not
think so.
mistaken. But like how you said, nobody acknowledged that they were hearing anything. I don't think.
No.
I know. I think the reason I did a playback was because with the one question, I thought I might have heard something underlining, but I couldn't. I kind of just like dismissed it because I was like, I don't hear. I just thought it was just random noise. Honestly, I thought it was just like something going off or something creaking. Quite honestly, or I thought someone going like breathing, so I just kind of just dismissed it.
It
I'm not sure if
definitely
that's
wasn't breathing.
right. I don't know. I might have to re-listen to that clip. Not that I'm saying that I'm probably going to hear anything that you heard because it sounds like your recorder picked it up crystal clear.
Well, except for the first one.
Okay,
The
okay,
first one, I don't think I cleaned it up. I think I left it as is.
okay.
But nothing from Peach Field audio is posted yet. Because I literally just started going through it today and I still have more to go through. But I did send you guys the clip through Facebook Messenger on the Peach Field chat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check that out after our episode.
But we were definitely getting answers. Because I know we had asked if any of the Burr family were there. And we did get a yes response. But we didn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
Because
Right.
we never acknowledged that yes.
Right. 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 Because
But
it's
they
like if
did
we were to
answer
hang up
us
and we
saying
were to-
yes. But we just didn't hear it at the time.
Right. Oh no, I might have to try a different EVP. Well, a different audio recorder next time. Next time we do some of those investigations. Because again, I just might need new audio recorders.
Well, you know how the spirits are. If, we could be both standing there with recorders in our hands and one will pick it up where the other one won't. And they could be right next to each other.
Right. 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 Very true. Very, very, very true. Just because of the fact that they could be standing right next to the one.
Or they can manipulate that it's only going to go on one.
Right. Right.
Just like how they manipulate everything else. They'll let one person see them, but they won't let the other people see them.
Right. Right. It's very selective.
Yes. Or again, it could be, like you said, them answering the second time on the playback.
Right. Right. Because maybe they might have enough energy to answer it at that point compared to when we initially asked the question. Maybe they might not have had enough energy to answer it the first time. So the second time they might have been having, hey, we have enough energy now. Now we can answer at least one of those questions. Let's get one of the answers.
Because they were all on playback. Because you can, before that, you can hear someone say, hey, can you play it back? Or you saying, I'm going to play it back now.
Right, right.
So they were all definitely on playback. But well, I also thought it was interesting because Beth had the dead bell.
Yes, which that was wild. That was wild how that just went off. And it was all the way on the far side of the room too.
Yeah.
And the only time I'm saying that was wild is because I never seen one of them go off in an actual person. I don't own a dead bell. Honestly, I never knew that there was a couple different ways for that piece of equipment to go off. But with seeing one in an actual physical person, there's two different ways to make it go off. There's a sensor or there's a legit bell. So with just hearing that go off and it's on the far side of the room and it just going off just in general, there was nothing touching it, nothing near it, no other piece of equipment. It was just wild hearing that and just experiencing that for the first time.
I mean, I don't have a dead bell. I have regular bells that I got off Amazon for like the front desk where people tap it. I haven't really used them yet, but I have them. And yeah, it would be interesting to see because it's the same thing as a dead bell, basically.
Yep. So the only thing different, because when that got brought out at the investigation, I was curious about it. I was like, is it just only just the bell? Like, they have to like hit the top part, make it go ding, ding. No, there's a sensor built into the stand that it's on. There's a sensor. So if they break the sensor will cause the ding.
Oh, I thought they still had the top, but there's a sensitivity on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a sensitivity on it. That's only for the sensor. That's not for the top part. They actually so they can do it one of two ways, from my understanding. They can do it with either breaking the sensor, which is the sensitive part, or they can make it go off by tapping the top part where the bell is. To my knowledge, that's
okay.
That's how I was, told about it.
The next time we investigate, because you said you have a dead bell or don't have a dead bell.
I don't
either. So the next time we investigate with Beth and she has her dead bell out, I'm going to bring one of my generic bells out and put it on the opposite side and see if we can get them to go back and forth.
That'd be really cool. That would be really cool because I was actually looking at the regular generic bells too, because I was like, because before seeing it in actual action and finding out that kind of information, I thought it was just they had to, tap the top part of the bell.
Yeah.
And I was like, if the spirit can tap the top part of a bell and make it go off, they could do that to a regular bell.
Right. You can get two of them on Amazon for $7.99 or $6.99.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
That's what I had.
That's how my brain went with it too. I was like, I could buy two of these for like not even an eighth of the price of the dead bell, because I think the dead bells are pretty high up there.
Yes, they are.
Last time I looked at them, so I was like, yeah, literally, I thought the same thing. I was like, for under $10 you could get two, or under $20 you can get two. I'm like, you can try it out and experiment. Right. I'm like, you can try it out and experiment in that point. If it goes off, it goes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. But
right, but it would be neat to see if they can do both.
Yes, it would. It would.
But it was, to me, it was shocking to hear the dead bell go off 3 different times. Twice so far that I heard back and can remember. Twice in the front room, I believe. I think.
Did it go off twice in the front?
It either went off twice in the front room or twice in the basement. It might have been. Maybe it was twice in the basement.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that in the basement. In the front room, I only remember it going off once because I didn't know we even had it in the room with us. Honestly,
I knew we had it. I knew Beth put it out.
Oh, okay. I had no idea that she pulled it out when we were in the front room until it went off, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Well, where's that stationed at?" And then, I had to use the flashlight to find it because I had no idea where it got.
Yeah, it was over by the window, and that's the same window where somebody was peeking in at us.
I remember you mentioning that before
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, that was shocking when I believe the bell went off at least 3 times. So it had to be once in the living room or in the main room and twice in the basement.
The other thing that was really shocking too was before we even started actually fully investigating in there was hearing the knocking noise.
Yeah.
Like hearing the knocking noise going from one side of the room to the other side of the room. It was going in like 3 out of 4 of the corners of the
Mm-hmm.
room where it was like, I guess you could say it was a knocking. It was more like a tapping noise. I've referred to that. It was more of a tapping noise than it was a knocking noise. It kind of sounded like somebody was tapping on something.
Yeah, it was definitely something going on.
Now the second floor was pretty cool, like with a little bit of interaction they had up there, especially in the one bedroom.
Well, that was the only bedroom we went in.
Right. Well, actually, yeah, I didn't I didn't know if the doll one was considered a room too, where they had the doll in the little rocker. I didn't know if that was considered a bedroom or not back then. It might have been
Oh,
back then.
maybe.
It might have been
Maybe
considered
because
a
you
bedroom.
did have like the Jack and Jill bathroom
Yep.
right there. So maybe it was.
Yeah, because we had a piece of equipment go off in there too. Um, Beth had out her dome. She put the dome in there, and the dome went off within like the first 5 minutes of us getting everything else all situated.
Yeah, I know nothing was going on in the bathroom right there.
Yeah, no, no,
I
no,
had
no.
the REM pod and a camera on it the whole time and nothing.
Yeah, no. I know. I know. I was standing in that bedroom for a good portion of that upstairs investigation, and I really didn't feel like anything was really peeking out of the bathroom. Nothing else along that line. Now the room behind me, the one that where you get to the top of the steps, that room I felt like somebody was kind of like peeking from that area down to where we were down the
Oh,
hallway.
okay.
But I we had equipment out there and nothing was going off, so nothing really pulled my attention to really focus in that area too much. Outside of just like a little gut feeling of, hey, there's something back there just watching you guys type of feel.
But no,
Yeah.
between the bedroom, the front room, the basement, and the other room upstairs, which I don't know if I still have to go through that recording, but the other room where you guys didn't hear us, which I still don't understand how you didn't hear us because we were very loud.
So so I think what happened in that scenario was I thought you guys went downstairs. And when we went downstairs to go find you guys, because originally I thought we were going to go to the basement because the talks of the basement came up. So when we went downstairs, the people there that were looking over the place were out in the kitchen area. Like I said, I thought you guys went downstairs to go out to the kitchen, and they said, "Oh, you guys are coming down for for break or whatever, right?" Yeah, 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 yeah. We were thinking about going down to the basement. Oh, okay. They walked out to the grand hall area,
Hmm.
to like the foyer area. I'll rephrase it, foyer area. When they did that, I think that's part of the reason why we weren't able to hear you guys. But again, though, they weren't being super loud though, so I don't know why we didn't hear
We
you.
were.
Right. So that's why I said I don't know why we didn't hear you guys when you guys were so upstairs, or why it didn't even dawn to us that there was another part of the upstairs that you guys could have went to. Because we went into the basement to look for you guys at first, and we were like, "Well, they didn't say that you guys came through to go down to the basement. Don't know how you guys we got into the basement, but all right, let's go downstairs and go check. You guys weren't down there. Came up to grab something to drink and to grab something to munch on before going back out and investigating. And I was like, hey, a couple batteries died on a couple of things. Batteries were out in the car. And I said, yeah, I said, let's go grab the batteries really quick before trying to find you guys. I was like, yeah, I was like, maybe you guys are outside. I was like, because you guys would talk about going outside at some point too, as well, just for photos and everything else. So when we were outside, that's when everything kind of dawned on, hey, you guys aren't out here. Not at all. Like, I asked for your name. I was like, hey, Linda. I was like, Linda, Timmy, Beth, because I seen something kind of playing, I guess you would say, kind of like a peekaboo type of thing, trying to peek around a tree, peek over, be trying a flashlight on it. It was just ducking right behind the tree again. And yeah, I thought it was one of you guys at first. Just doing it like nonchalant fun, just trying to just goof around a little bit. And yeah, from that point it was, well, let's go back over to the car, let's go get the batteries. Parked a little too far over. Let's put it that way. Further away from the location than anticipated. Probably, I want to say maybe 80 feet away from the plant, 80 feet away from the place. In that manner, like you're walking through a parking lot, fieldish type of like look to it. And I was like, all right, so we're over there for the batteries, and it's like you feel like people are watching you from different angles, like kind of like closing in around you, I guess is the way to put it. Type of like people are watching from one side of the house, the other side of the house, the fields, everywhere, just making it just that uncomfortable feeling. So that's why we were like, all right, well, we don't know where you guys are. Then then when we came in, then we heard the dead bell go off upstairs, and I was like, well, maybe they're in the basement because I thought I heard it from the basement. Went downstairs, looked in the basement. You guys were not down there again. And I was like, all right. And I was like, haha. I was like, jokes, I was like, this is kind of funny. I'm like, where are you guys at? Like, like I'm not freaked out, but I'm like, where are you guys? Like,
we never even made it downstairs.
Well, now I know that now. I mean, after the whole entire scenario. But yeah, that's like, yeah, go upstairs, and there you guys are in the opposite side of the second floor, and just like, oh. So.
Yeah, that still boggles my mind because we were so loud. I don't know how, like, nobody heard us.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like,
we were getting crazy activity, but it wasn't so much the room, it was from the outside. Yeah, it wasn't so much from the room that we were interacting with, it was from the outside letting us see them.
So for the people that are listening and everything else, what did you guys experience that that was from the outside perspective? Like, put it into that term of like, do you guys see like shadows, or do you guys see what kind of like with what I was talking about we were experienced outside, or was it something different?
Whoa, that was weird. That just kind of cut both of us out.
Yeah, it did.
Timmy and I both saw Native Americans. There was a whole tribe outside. Beth started catching elementals, and then they were letting us see the elementals. They were letting Timmy and I see them a little bit after Beth started catching them. Timmy time traveled again, which apparently he went back to the 1700s, and he was outside working in the field. Yeah, I don't know. And then he saw this campground type ish thing because he was describing a campfire. I'm not quite sure if that was still the 1700s or if he moved on. Yeah, it was very bizarre. And I'm hoping that the recorder, because I had that running the whole time, picked something up besides our reactions.
Yes, that would be incredible if it did pick up something else.
But yeah, that room was just weird. I don't even want to say it was the room. It was what we were experiencing from the outside, and we were on the second floor.
Right. So from perspective, from where for people that are listening, can't draw a real visual image of the layout of the place. If you've ever been there before, you know what this type of looks like. If you have not been there before, whenever we start dropping out evidence, definitely recommend, whether it's on like within the Paranormal or Dixieland Mystical Society, definitely keep an eye out for it. You will definitely kind of get a little bit of a concept of how the location looks from first floor, second floor, basement. Maybe even from the outside purpose too. Again, I'm not sure if there was anything rolling outside, but when we encountered the stuff that we were encountering outside, it was on the right side of the building. Oh, it froze.
Yeah, it lost both of us again for a minute there. No. You froze, and then it kind of lost both.
That's weird. So
I do have pictures posted.
Okay. I
wasn't sure. I have daytime. Yeah, I have daytime pictures, and then I have nighttime pictures. And the nighttime pictures in my description is we were upstairs. I was taking pictures out the window. You can see the screen in the window. But the window that I was at, it wasn't near the parking lot. It wasn't where our cars were parked. It wasn't near a street. It wasn't close enough to houses. The houses were, at least the one house was really far away.
Mm-hmm.
And it was off kind of to the left a little bit where there was absolutely nothing there. And I took three pictures back to back without moving. And there's some kind of a light in the picture, but it's not on the other picture.
That's weird.
Yeah. So if you want to go back and look at the pictures, it'll kind of give you an idea of where we're talking about, because it's posted separately. It's at night. It's 3 pictures, and it's from the upstairs in that room that we were in, looking outside. So it'll kind of give you a perspective of what we're talking about when we were saying we're in this other room. It wasn't, I don't know what they used to use it for, but all they had in the room was like a fold-out table and some chairs, and then another little, like maybe wooden table, and then, I don't know, some other stuff on the other side.
Right. Yeah, because, like how Linda was saying about the photos and everything, we were over on the right side when we had our experience. So we were on the right side, and then we were on the back. Because when you started to walk back to the back end of the house, is over on the back right side of the back of the house is where the little parking lot is. So where Linda and everybody else were, they were in a different part of the house. They were not near the back right or even near the
No, we were on the opposite side.
Right. They were more so aiming towards the left, which is not really even, you can't see any cars from the window that they were looking out of.
It was a field.
From that perspective, it was just all open field for them. So that's something to keep in mind.
So yeah, I do have pictures posted and maybe a couple videos, but that's all that's up for the Peach Field so far. But yeah, our experiences were crazy active, I would say. Definitely did not.
Yeah, it was definitely not a letdown at all. That location was not a letdown. It was a lot of activity in a time frame that we were there. Like a lot of personal activity. I mean, guess you'd say personal experiences is the way to put it, not personal activity. It was a lot of personal experiences as well as activity that we were able to get on audio and video as well, that we fully really just haven't gone over yet.
Hopefully, they did ask if we can get some answers for them for certain families or certain things that were going on. Hopefully, we'll be able to get something for them. But as of right now, the only thing I've come across was that yes, the Burr family or some of the Burr family were still there.
Which, I mean, that's a little bit of validation that, think that they are still there. So, which I'm sure that's something that will give a little bit of validation for them.
But so far, that's all I've come across for helping them get answers to certain things they're still looking for. The people that run this historic property.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I think whenever we go back, for another investigation, I'm sure we'll get a couple more answers to go in that direction that they're looking for.
Hopefully the spirits there will trust us now when we go back, because I'm sure we're going to go back again. So hopefully the spirits will, know who we are and trust us a little bit more and know that we're just there to help them and or get answers for the dames that own the historic property.
Right. Right. And that's always the thing too, is the more that you go to a place, especially a place like that, that's small and, has such rich history to it. When people start coming around more, they get comfortable with those people that tend to show up more often.
Yes. And this place does not get investigated that often.
No.
So for us to have any type of equipment going off,
it's incredible.
Yes.
It is definitely incredible in that sort.
And yeah, for this one, I mean, it was small. I definitely would suggest not a large group. It is very, very small. The outside's pretty big. Definitely need to investigate more of the outside next time. But my personal opinion is, if you're looking for somewhere new to investigate, I would definitely have a small group.
Yes, and I definitely agree with you on that. I agree 100%. Sometimes a small group is always good in that sense.
Because I said is the max, but whatever that is, I don't really think you want to do the max.
No.
Because there's the basement, the main room, and the living room. I guess you can investigate the kitchen where we kind of put the base, all of our equipment. And then you had 3 rooms upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had the 2 bedrooms, the room at the top of the steps.
You had the bedroom, and then, and then the one that we were in that you guys couldn't find us.
Right. Which I still find that wild, that how we were never able to find you guys at first.
Yeah. I can't wait to go over the playback and see how loud we really were.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it on the camera because I left the camera up there because we were gonna do like a little small I guess you say a little small abandonment session. We were just gonna just let the camera roll up there with a few pieces of equipment. Or we were gonna.
Okay, so that whole time you still had the camera running.
Yep.
Okay. I wonder how loud we really are.
We will have to find out, though.
And I do have to make one quick note.
Absolutely.
I have to be careful with the music box or the Jack in the Box. I cannot let Timmy hold it.
Very true. Very, 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 very true. Now, that was priceless. I'm just going to say that, hopefully that makes it out onto your channel. If it doesn't make it out onto yours, then it's going to make it out onto mine. So, at least on one of ours, it's going to be there.
Oh,
So especially for the
definitely.
people that are watching it.
Look forward to that. It had nothing to do with
Absolutely.
spirits.
No, not at all. It's just a little humor. That's pretty much it. You gotta have some humor when when you're investigating some of these locations. Yes, you gotta be serious, but sometimes you gotta have fun and you gotta have a little bit of humor as well. It also makes some of the spirits laugh in that factor too, or makes them go off to verify laughter. So thank you everybody for listening and or watching. If you are on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications of when our next episode comes out. If you are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us a like so therefore when the next episodes get dropped. We're going to try to drop them a little bit more frequently here in the near future, but until that starts to happen, please keep following and keep on liking. Till next time, guys, you guys have a good one.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more.
See you guys.